Oh, we got a couple minutes. I don't know if, did anyone hear from Bob? No? Okay. Well, I guess if we're all ready, we can go ahead and call this meeting to order. Okay, everyone, welcome to the Historical Landmarks Commission meeting for today, November 19th. Crystal, could we please get a roll call?
Forrest Ercole,
Present.
Bob McNary, absent. Eric Gleason,
Present.
Victor Johnson,
Here.
Tom Jamay,
Present.
Julie Reynolds,
Here.
and Scott Randall.
Present.
Thank you very much, Crystal. Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America.
Republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Next up on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Does anyone want to make any edits to the agenda as it stands, or I would accept a motion to approve it?
I'll move that we approve the agenda as written.
Thank you, Eric. Do we have a second?
I can second.
Thank you, Victor. All those in approval of the agenda that stands and the motion made, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Moving right along. Next up is the approval of the minutes of October 22nd, 2025. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes, and are there any edits to be made?
I didn't see any.
Then I would accept a motion for approval of the minutes.
I'll move that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Thank you, Eric. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Victor. All those in approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Next up is the public comment, and during this portion of the meeting, anyone may speak on a subject that does not appear on our agenda tonight. I notice we have one young lady in the crowd tonight. Nothing to speak about? That's not on the agenda? Okay.
But I have two comments that I collected from the public.
Okay, please. Yes, please, Julie, please.
One was from Bill Lennox, who wanted me to bring up that the historical markers on the houses are looking pretty shabby. And he was hoping they could be repaired or upgraded. It seems like there was something about that some long time ago. Was
In
that
the
right?
goals, I believe. Yep. We're gonna bring the goals to
Oh,
the
that's
next
right.
meeting and go over them, so, yeah.
Well, anyway, it's there and I'll let him know that it's in the future probably. And the other was a couple of comments on the Granada sign flashing, but I haven't noticed it lately.
That's been addressed.
It's been addressed. Thank you very much. It's more in keeping with our historic downtown. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you, Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
Our next portion of the meeting tonight is going to be the public hearing. Before I open it for public hearing, I am going to read the procedures of the public hearing. Bear with me. Now is the time specified for the Historical Landmarks Commission to conduct a public hearing. The purpose of this hearing is to consider the following matter. HLC application 222-25. The substantive criteria upon which the Historical Landmarks Commission will base its decision in this matter are contained in the city's comprehensive plan and land use development ordinances. A public hearing is required by law and certain rules apply. First and foremost, you must be recognized by the chair in order to speak and present testimony. When recognized by the chair, please state your name and mailing address for the record. The hearing is required by law to be recorded. Generally, the hearing procedure is as follows. Prior to the public hearing, a determination will be made of the qualifications of the commission members and allow for challenges from the audience. I will open the public hearing with a staff report. The purpose of the staff report is to further identify the applicable criteria of the application being considered and to provide background information about the application. After the staff report, we will hear testimony from the proponents, those persons in favor of the application. Next, there will be testimony from the opponents, those not in favor of the application. Next, there will be testimony from anyone else who wishes to offer testimony or ask questions. Then, to honor the right of rebuttal, we will again hear from those in favor of the application. To expedite the hearing, the commission members may ask questions of persons as they testify. When this process has concluded, we will close the public testimony portion of the hearing. During the hearing, some important standards apply. First, all of those who testify must hold their testimony to the decision criteria. As in all land use hearings, there are a complete set of rules, procedures, and criteria that we must follow. Second, failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the commission members and the parties an opportunity to respond to that issue precludes an appeal to the city council based on that issue. Third, the failure of an applicant to raise constitutional or other issues relating to the proposed conditions of approval with detail specific enough to allow the city to respond to the issue precludes an action for damages in the circuit court. Fourth, prior to the conclusion of the public hearing, any participant may request an opportunity to present additional evidence, arguments, or testimony regarding the application. If such a request is made, the law states the commission must grant the request by either continuing the hearing to a time and date at least 7 days from the date of the initial hearing, or the record must be kept open for a period of at least 7 days. These are the rules. Are there any questions? Seeing none. Do any of the commission members have ex-parte conflicts, contacts, interest, or bias which would prevent you from rendering an impartial decision on this matter?
No.
Okay, hearing none. Does anyone in the audience wish to challenge the qualifications of any of the members of the commission? Seeing none, we'll move on. The public hearing is now open. Sandy, may we please have the staff report?
Yes, thank you. For the record, Sandy Freund, Senior Planner with the Community Development Department. Before I go any further, I just want to let the commission know that the applicant could not make the meeting today because of the passing of her father, and she was out of town. I can attempt to answer as many questions as possible, but I can't speak to the project outside of what I know from the application. She didn't request a continuation in an email exchange, but also didn't say no. So I don't know how the commission feels about going through the whole hearing today to see, or if you want to continue it to date and time certain. So that's just a question I'm going to give you before I do the presentation.
Could you pull the microphone just a little bit closer?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just a little bit, it's fine.
Thanks. I
Thank
usually talk too loud and too fast. So, I don't know if you want to proceed or not.
Did everyone hear what she had said? How does the commission want to proceed tonight?
Well, I guess maybe it'd be good to have her here because it sounds like there's some kind of complications to the application just because.
Or I can go through the presentation and then you can
Uh-huh.
decide if you want to vote or continue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
we would like to hear
Want to do that?
Okay.
Okay, that's great. That's half the homework, right? Half the battle. Okay, so now we can start. I'll try some fancy technology today. Oh, it's turned on? I didn't know. Duh, thank you. Ah, there we go. Start slideshow. There we go. Okay, I'll switch it. No, it's not off. There we go. Got it. Okay. So, yeah, this is HLC application 222-25. And the applicant is Catherine Montag. And I'll get into details in the next few slides. It's basically a detached garage structure listed as a non-contributing structure in the historic records, and it's at a location where there is a historic house as a contributing resource in the records, the Reuter House. It's not in a historic district. The property is zoned high-density residential, and the request is to remove the existing non-contributing garage structure and replace it with a new garage. And the property is located at 420 East 8th Street. There's the site. There's a lot of large sycamore trees on the site that are not going to be disturbed. Okay. So the applicant wishes to remove the existing garage and build a new garage. The applicant states the existing garage, is in poor condition and poses a safety hazard as it has a crumbling wood floor and no foundation, and creating instability in the structure. The proposed replacement garage is proposed to match in paint color, and the framing of the interior part of the garage will be Douglas fir wood. The exterior is proposed to be hardy plank siding, which is not wood, but it gives the appearance of wood, and provides that material will provide additional longevity and stability for the new structure. The applicant states the new garage will allow for the parking of the car, which currently is in the alley and does not fit in the existing garage. It's going to be a little bit larger with the dimensions. I have them on the slide. What else? So the applicant indicates the existing home, which is the Dr. J.A. Reuter residence, is not going to be part of this project. It's all the southwest corner of the property in the alleyway, which is the garage. And the residence, again, was constructed in 1890 and had some renovations completed in 1909. It had to do with, I think, the floor being raised and moved. Eric knows. I
Yeah,
read,
well, I think they jacked up
they
the
jacked up that, yeah,
1890 structure and built a whole other full
right.
floor below it.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's interesting in of itself, isn't it? And thank you, Eric, or Commissioner Gleason, rather, excuse me, for providing additional pictures and information. That was fantastic. So that's it in a nutshell. The colors, you should have been provided a color palette in your packet. They're trying to match as close as possible. I've asked for several items that the applicant has given me over the last, 4, 5 weeks. I think maybe some of it came in slowly or not altogether there in some instances because of potentially dealing with this family emergency. So I don't know. These are the existing photos of the site. There's the beautiful house on the right. And then there's the garage. It is leaning. She said the roof leaks too, which, that happens. More pictures of it. It's in the alley, obviously. Oh yeah, and they are proposing to add one window with vinyl or wood frame, with a mill guard window. I guess it's a brand of window. And then these are the plans we received. The top or the left side of the slide shows kind of where we're a little bit at issue. I've been trying to get a little better plan of the garage. It's not very clear. It's hard to see any articulation. So there's that issue. It's hard to make out the lines. And then the right side is where the proposed structure will go on the property in the same footprint, a little bit larger than the existing garage. Let's see. The staff did recommend approval with conditions with the criteria met for the Secretary of the Interior Standards and also meeting Title 11 of the Dalles Municipal Code. And staff recommends the HLC adopt resolution number 207-25, granting approval to demolish the existing detached, non-contributing garage structure and build a new garage in its place to be accessed from the alley in the same location. And I conclude my presentation, and we're open for questions.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Does the commission have any questions for staff? Yes, Eric.
Do. So I sent this document to you about
The
I'd done-
Sanborn maps, right?
Right. I'd
Yeah.
done a little bit of research into the history of the garage because we kind of walked by and looked at it and it looked like a historic structure. So I did some background research to try and identify it. So went through the Sanborn fire insurance maps. It doesn't appear on the 1900 Sanborn map, but there is a structure there labeled Auto House on the 1909 map, which is when when Reuter did all the bought the house and did all the remodeling. So it looks like there's at least a structure there in 1909 described as a garage. And then the next available Sanborn map is the 1926 one. And it also shows a garage at that location that's had a little bump out addition made to it. Doing some work at the Discovery Center. The Discovery Center has some ledger books from the city that include automobile licenses. And so in the 1910 and 1911 automobile license books, J.A. Reuter is listed as licensing a locomobile, automobile. So he had a car and a garage, it looks like. And just looking at the garage, it pretty much looks like it would be that 1909 garage. It's got, the siding is the same on it as on the house. Some of the details are the same. So it seems like there's a good chance that it was misidentified as a non-historic, non-contributing building in the National Register form. So, and you were going to talk to SHPO maybe and get some clarification as to what to do
Yeah.
about that?
I didn't get enough information, really. I mean, the information we have to look at these things, to look them up, is the register, the national and the state. We don't typically look at the Sanborn maps that I'm aware of. I asked the applicant, she wasn't sure when the garage was constructed. She guessed the 40s or 50s, but didn't know. So it's unclear. So that's the issue at hand. We made the recommendation based off of the material and information we have at hand. And it's what's listed in the National Register.
Did you get any guidance from SHPO as to when there's errors in the register forms?
No, I could reach out again and ask, but
Oh, so you just got no response from them?
yeah, I believe Josh may have spoken to somebody or tried to reach out to somebody, but we hadn't heard back yet. So, yeah, I don't know how, if there is an error in the record, how does that affect a current request? Does it put it off? I don't know. It could be a legal question. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
I think we would definitely have to wait to make a decision on that because then we'd want to try to salvage as much of the current garage that might be usable. Maybe it's just a glass pane window. But I think we should definitely try to get some more information in case that was incorrect and they did not include it on the registry when it should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, Victor.
Yeah, and I was reading in the packet pretty deep, like in the 90s in the pages, and I don't have it in front of me, but it said something along the lines that the effective date for this building now should be about 1909 because the 1890s, things have been kind of
They changed it. Yeah.
So if that garage was there in 1909 and that's the effective date of the property, it seems like that is contributing to me. I mean, I'm fairly new to this process,
Sure.
but and I'm, not opposed to a new garage, but destroying the historic one, that's kind of concerning. So maybe
Right.
there's an opportunity to do a new one next to it or something like that. I don't know. Maybe there's some wiggle room that we can have our cake and eat
Right.
it too, kind of thing.
Right. Well, that's true. I would like to, I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit. I would like to take into consideration somebody's financial situation as well. It could be costly to preserve the garage maybe a portion of it wouldn't be as bad. I don't know. Do you remove that portion and put it in the new garage, or leave it in its place and then just build next to it? That's some
At
thoughts.
least at that point, we don't lose it, and maybe it is worth, doing
Could be.
down the road.
Is there
maybe
a
we can-
liability to them if it falls over and
Yeah.
something happens to somebody?
Maybe
I
we
don't
can
know.
even help them with that process. Maybe urban renewal, has something available for a small,
Find out. Good idea.
and I'm just thinking out loud.
Right, me too.
You're being devil's advocate. I'm trying to,
Well, it's ideas to
advocate.
just kind of kick around too.
yeah, yeah. No, I like,
But it's hard because the applicant's not here to defend their property
know,
either,
and-
so I'm a little hesitant.
I know in winter, the weather's changing and, I'm sure they
Right.
want to get going and stuff like that. So I don't
Right.
want to put the brakes on anything that
Hmm.
is unnecessary, but it is kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
Thought it was interesting that the applicant said that the contractor had proposed using the full lengths of the lumber, and that would enlarge the footprint.
I think it was just a scope of work, an estimate. This is what we can do for your site idea. I mean, they have plenty of room. It's a double lot. Yeah,
And I can say that their contractor was who I used on my historic project.
okay.
He's excellent.
Oh, well, that's
He's
good to know.
He's very capable. He's an excellent problem solver, and
Right,
given an opportunity to, he comes up with good solutions.
yeah. Trying to give her every option, I would imagine.
Scott.
If they were able to salvage the existing building, would they be able to replace the wooden floor with a concrete floor? Would that be something and then the exterior could still look the same?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd have to look into our guidelines, but I believe the foundation could be concrete as long as the structure itself.
That's with
Try to,
visual, yeah. That's a great question too.
Yeah, and we might be able to help some with that. I know kind of with a group that's restored an old shed, and Jackie and I moved a old garage to our property behind the thing, so we're pretty used to jacking things up and stabilizing and all of that stuff. So I'd definitely be able to at least
you
lend a
think?
little bit of a hand to that kind of stuff. Because, I know that sometimes when you own a historic property, there's certain costs that accrue because it's a historic property, and, things that we can do to help kind of mitigate those are a good thing.
yeah, I definitely think we need to try to get them in as soon as possible though, because that building does look like it's on its last leg there.
Could you pull up that picture again?
Yes, I can. I'm gonna wait for Crystal. She's my navigator today. Just do start slideshow and I'll just go to it. There you go. Thanks. Which picture of the many?
You can.
I
clearly
think
see
it looks a little
Yeah.
distorted in that one. I don't think it's leaning quite so much as it appears
right
in
one.
that one picture.
There's the right side one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, driving by it, I wasn't like concerned about it falling on me or anything, but it just a quick look,
I wonder, let me see. No trees cut. I wonder if there's trees in the way to the right of it. Oh, there's a big tree there. I'm trying to think if they were to leave it and then construct a garage, if there would be enough room.
it kind of looked like when I was
Because,
driving by that they have a basketball court there on the,
because we have to have
Right
10 feet
side.
between structures in the
Uh-huh.
code.
10 feet.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can't design it for them or where,
Mhm.
obviously, but
I think a new one would do more for that house than that one. So whichever route they decide, I think
right.
we need to give them some help. It's in the alley. You can't see it from the front. So when they're here, I think it'd be
Yeah.
way ahead.
Thank you, Tom. Any further questions for staff tonight? Okay, well then, there's no one here to talk in on behalf of it. I don't feel that then we can ask someone to speak against it if there is in the audience. Oh, we do have someone here to speak for it. Uh, yes, please come up to the microphone and state your name and your address for the record, please.
My name is Jim Foster. I live at Jim Foster. I live at 508 East 8th. I'm 2 houses east of Katie's house. My house was built about the same time, probably the mid to late 1890s to the early 1900s. The records are a little bit iffy up at the courthouse. I'm supportive of it. I mean, that if you look at the pictures and you look at the house, there's no consistency in construction between those two buildings. The house clearly was built and then elevated, as I heard you on my phone as I was coming in. It's always been kind of the interesting story of the neighborhood that Dr. we call him Ryder, referred to him as Ryder, that he went to the expense of raising the ground floor instead of building an upper floor. I'm sure there was some reason for it, but in any event, I look at that garage and I understand the importance of historical buildings. That garage is going to fall down, and she does not have an obligation to maintain it, I don't believe. And it seems to me that that doesn't make any sense. It's not. I have a garage that was built in the 1920s that I have to go like this in the alley to get into. So I understand her situation because hers is dramatically smaller than mine. And if it doesn't have a use and it's going to deteriorate to the point of dust, then it seems to me there ought to be a reasonable way to resolve that. And that would be to build a structure, take that structure out, save whatever you think is important, but build a structure that's consistent with the construction of the house. So it's not different because it's frankly an eyesore in the neighborhood. So I'm in support of Katie's application, and I hope you'll take that into consideration.
Thank you.
I'd answer any questions too.
Commission have any questions? Seeing none.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Price.
Yes, please come up, state your name and your address for the record.
I'm Jacqueline Chung, 704 K Street here in the Dalles. And I just, listening to your discussions, I think it would be a good idea to postpone the decision until there's more as you guys understand that it is a historic structure. We have evidence it's historic, looks historic, and that the National Register nomination has erroneously called it non-historic, non-contributing. I think there's still value in the structure, and I think it would be helpful to get more guidance from the SHPO and also just to be able to talk to the proponent and see whether they can work out a solution that will either save structure itself or elements of it. So I'm glad to see the discussion is kind of moving in that direction, and I would urge you to, consider working with the proponent to see how much or if any of it can be saved. There's clearly an interesting connection between Reuter buying a fancy automobile and building a garage for it on his property at the same time he's remodeling his house. He's kind of represents his status in the community. An interesting story. It all works together. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah.
Victor?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
You can probably answer from where you are. That's all right. All right. So,
I think you probably have to go to the microphone.
yeah, we need her at the mic so we can get her.
On the recording.
so what's your field, would you say? And what's your occupation, your,
Oh, but I'm an archaeologist and historic.
so you understand this stuff pretty well.
Yes, and I have reviewed a lot of national registers.
And do you see any similarity between the garage and the house as far as design?
Yes, it has the lower story looks, I haven't gotten close enough to the house behind the gate. But it looks like there's the same siding on the lower story of the house as there is on.
Great.
I couldn't tell folding around the roof. There is older style molding there that may be similar to the house.
Great. Thank you.
Any further questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now I'm kind of uncertain where to go. I guess we should close the public hearing portion and then discuss amongst ourselves whether or not we want to postpone or make a decision otherwise. So the public hearing portion will be now closed and we will discuss amongst ourselves. Eric?
I guess I would encourage us to kind of continue on this until we can have the proponent here to kind of answer some questions and until we can get some guidance from SHPO too, because it's not unheard of to have errors in National Register nominations, but I'm really unclear as to how to deal with those.
Thank you. Yes,
yeah.
I agree too on waiting to get more information. I feel making a decision at this point in time would not be in the best interest of the applicant because there may be a lot of information we don't have at this time. Scott, Tom, anyone
What's
else?
the proposed construction timeline now? They probably want it done before winter, I would imagine.
I didn't see the construction timeline and the scope of work, so I don't know. I don't know.
Just because, I mean, I don't, looking at that, it's not being maintained. So we're either gonna help it be maintained or offer, you know, a solution to build something new. So, appreciate both sides.
Yeah, Eric.
I guess how long would we continue this for? To our next meeting or to?
So if you decide to
Special
continue
meeting?
the item, no special meetings necessary. Typically, if you can continue to date and time certain to the next meeting, that once you state that for the record, that acts as the official noticing, so we don't have to put it in the paper again. If the applicant does not or is not able to make that meeting, then we could continue it again. And go from there. These are not land use applications, so they're not under the same timelines that are in ORS. So I think we could start with continuing to date and time certain for the December 17th meeting. And if the applicant can't make it or provide us additional information by then we can discuss it from there and see if I'm able to gather more information between now and then, or that would help inform a decision or get more guidance from the applicant on how they wish to see us proceed. If she can't make it, maybe the contractor can make it. So there's a few ways to get there by the next meeting to hear back. And then we can decide at that meeting if we have enough information to move forward or not.
Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome.
Victor?
Yeah, I don't know, this might be weird to say, but, you know, I would like to see that saved. And I'd like to see her be able to build a new garage. And I'm familiar with her contractor and I would be willing to help try and stabilize that, you know, I mean, I would be game to lend a hand to make that happen. Yeah, so.
Thank you, Victor. Any further discussion or motions that anyone would like to make? Eric?
I guess I would move that we continue this on to the next meeting.
Thank you, Eric. Do we have a second?
Sure, I can second that.
Victor seconds. Thank you, Victor. All those in favor of continuing to date and time certain, at which will be our next meeting in December,
December 17th.
December 17th. Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? I didn't hear any. Everyone say aye, sorry. So the ayes have it.
Okay.
Okay, so then we will not be doing our next agenda item tonight, which would be resolution, because we are going to continue this at our next meeting.
Mm.
So then our next item of our agenda will be staff comments.
Thank you. So for the next meeting, I don't know if we have any applications in or not. I have one bubbling, but I'm not sure if it's gonna come in time. I haven't seen one. It could be this one, but we'll have enough to do. We're gonna review the goal settings at that meeting.
Okay.
For next year's goals and discuss the noticing requirements for newspaper noticing on certain projects like demolitions. They require newspaper notice to appear twice and 100-foot radius. They're to be treated like quasi-judicial applications, which typically take a 300-foot notice. But our section of the code says 100-foot notice and 2 newspaper back-to-back notices. So that'll be something to ponder. We'll get you some homework, some information via email before that discussion happens. I think I'll send out the goals that were approved for this year and where we're at with them. And then the discussion around the newspaper noticing. So you can ponder that before we meet. And then I will try to get as much information on the item we just continued. That's all that we have for staff comments right now.
Thank you very much, Sandy.
you.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Were there any questions on the staff comments? Yeah, Victor.
We kind of tossed around the idea of reducing fees as a possibility, and Josh's idea was one of the things that maybe we didn't need to post in the paper for certain things. Is
Right.
that still something that
I mean,
we can talk about?
yeah, I mean, we can talk about it. Certain applications, specifically ones that involve demolition per se, and other ones, they require the newspaper notice. And if we decide to eliminate the newspaper notice, but still treat it as a quasi judicial item, which refers to another part of the code, that it requires a 300-foot notice. So it could be that 300-foot goes out instead of the newspaper notice. That might cover it. And we were kind of talking this morning about other ways of noticing. I know we have a lot of social media out there, but I like to be careful with and cognizant of the segment of the population that may not have internet or may not have social media. And I think that's why up until today, still, we have newspaper noticing. I don't know how many people get the newspaper, but
Say, like, how many people under 60 read it, but at least it's available to everybody, right?
that's true. And some jurisdictions even require, postings in 3 different places, public places, a library downstairs and somewhere else, so people can see a public hearing coming up. So, yeah,
Well, it's just something that when we talked about reducing fees, Josh mentioned, well, maybe we don't need to be publishing this.
and that could be it. That could be if we go out with a further radius, a 300-foot radius, it covers more properties to notify of meetings. That could help with the fees. The fees also cover the time that we spend staff on doing our research and reports too. So there's that involved, but that's
Yeah.
not my call.
Well, I thought that was very thorough. I enjoyed reading about the house and like some of the people that, we're familiar with, like Max Vogt and, that Weigelt, that was the stonemason on this house. I mean,
Right.
some of us remember his daughter that worked at the bookstore. And
That's fantastic.
so, yeah, it was really,
Yeah.
yeah, well, it was really thorough and good
Yeah,
job on that.
Yeah, there was a lot of information.
So some jurisdictions put signs, on
Mhm.
the property when
Oh,
there's a
yeah,
proposed thing.
postings, yeah.
Yeah, and do we do that here?
I have not seen that done in the Dalles.
Yeah, so maybe that'd be a good thing because
Yeah.
that'd let the neighbors know.
I've worked at jurisdictions where we write out the sign for them. They come pick it up, they pay for the sign. And we give them the stakes, and they post, properties typically have to be posted in at least one spot, sometimes two spots that can be seen from the right of way. I've had appeals on projects that the letter size wasn't the correct size per the code, and a project got appealed on that. So there's postings on site is a pretty common avenue for jurisdictions. There's various ways to notice.
Yeah, Victor?
And the goal setting, is that staff has set the goals for the year, or is that?
We do.
That was the commission does. We try to organize it in a, bite-sized pieces, if you will, 1 to 2 year timeframes, and then 2 to 5 years. And where we're at with some of them have not moved. Some of them haven't happened at all because we didn't get the rare position. It wasn't funded. So there's some of that for the discussion. And I know we have some staff helping us summarize some of the goals and some that we need to look at and maybe get some funding for and whatnot. I have, is it Rockport or Rockfort? Help me out.
Oh, Rockfort.
Rockfort, thank you. The signage out there is terrible, and there's a gentleman that's been in contact with us that has some ideas for sign replacement out there that I've been working with our facilities folks with, because it's in their wheelhouse, the sign replacements, but we're trying to connect them and see if they can't get some funding going for that, that this person is offering up to get new signage. And so some of that is going on in the background.
Yeah, you might want to work with the Discovery Center on that too, because they put up the original sign. The sign.
We were trying to find out who did because we looked under the signs and there's no tag or anything. So it's the Discovery Center.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
It was and that was put up, for the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Okay.
2005. So it's been up there a while.
Well, thank you very much. That's very helpful, because I was trying to find out. I guess I didn't try hard enough. I should have asked you.
Any other questions for staff before we move on to our next item? No? Okay. Commissioner comments are next. Any comments from the commissioners? Anything you'd like to discuss that we didn't already discuss tonight that should be brought to our attention? State of the city?
I guess the February history forms are coming up at the original courthouse. We have 4 programs lined up, I guess. We have Roger Nichols is going to do one on the first Mayor Mays of the city of the Dalles. The current Mayor Mays is our second Mayor Mays, so he's going to do one on the first Mayor Mays, who actually, if you remember in the National Register nomination for this house, was kind of,
Yeah.
his house was the 1890s house. So that'll be kind of an interesting tie-in.
Those are on Saturdays?
They're on Saturdays, every Saturday in February.
Okay.
And Victor's going to give a program. And then we have the Neon Sign Museum is going to do one on the Jansen Beach Carousel. And then Dan Bolt, former county surveyor, is going to give one on farm to market roads, the history of those. So should be interesting.
Thanks, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Any further comments?
Give an update on the museum.
Please,
That's my
please, Julie, yeah.
role here.
Please do, yeah.
The museum's closed on November 15th. The cruise ships are no longer coming. And the director was willing, our coordinators willing to open the museum up in the first part of the new year on a regular basis, so that maybe we'll attract more local people to come and see what's there. So.
Thank you, Julie. All right, if there are no further commissioner comments, we will proceed to the next item, which is adjournment. Uh, Do we have a motion to adjourn? Saying none, we're going to sit here all night.
Move.
Thanks, Eric. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Victor. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Thank you very much, everyone.
The gavel.
Oh,
now.
I'm sorry.
Well done.
I was telling my wife, I don't really like the gavel. It feels like so authoritative, like
It was pretty wimpy.